Hey there, so today I want to cover a story coming out of Bounding Into Comics, and if you have not gone in and subscribed to Bounding Into Comics, I would recommend that you do so. Why? Because they cover things like this. I mean, no one else is out there actually covering articles that really, truly matter sometimes. You know, you see this kind of craziness, and this craziness, it actually spreads throughout all of entertainment. In fact, the way that I saw this was because comic writer H0m0ph0b was spreading the fact that Dean Cain was purportedly a homophobe. Now, it's amazing to see how easily someone can be lambasted. And after I looked at H0m0ph0b spreading this, within 8 hours, she had almost gotten 300 likes, 13 retweets. So you have no idea how many people this spread to. Why? Because someone decided they would go out and they would say this about him. Why did that matter? Well, because in current year, first of all, you can, and the reasons behind it, well, they don't always add up to reality. So anyhow, let's look at this. Superman actor Dean Cain responds after podcaster accuses him of homophobia. Podcaster Anthony O accused former Superman actor Dean Cain of homophobia. O is no stranger to controversy. He previously had his Twitter account suspended last year. He stated that Twitter suspended him for being impolite to straight people mocking the Pulse massacre. You know, he's talking about that there. Isn't that lovely? So apparently, you know, he goes out, he spreads this, and 4,000 comments come in, 18,000 likes, and of course they take him at his word. Now, when you look at this and you see what his word is worth, well, you decide if you want people like this to be believed all the time. So Dean Cain played Superman in the popular TV series Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, which was loosely based on John B.'s Superman origin. The show ran from 93 to 1997. Now, irony is, it says here from Anthony O, Dean Cain hating gays so much when he is literally why I'm gay. You can see Dean Cain, of course, when he sees this, he's like, what in the world? Where do you get the idea that I hate gays? Couldn't be further from the truth. You clearly have zero idea where I stand on the issue. Dean Cain, you know, after he said that, well, we find out exactly why this is. And pretty much this is current year. Because you voted a specific way, you're a soft target out there, and people are going to come after you. I've always found this to be rather fascinating because just because you vote a specific way, that supposedly means that you fall in lockstep with the one idea. It showcases how many people are one-issue voters. You know, when you look at this one thing, and they want to conflate it and say people are dying because. And well, when they look at the article here that's linked to with Vox, from Trump's ban on the transgender military service to his failure to acknowledge Pride Month, that's apparently killing people. The article claims, too, whatever the cause, the result is Trump's presidency and administration has now adopted broad anti-LGBTQ agenda, one that has gone after LGBTQ workers, troops, and even patients. And more that showing Trump's dishonesty, his agenda politically threatens the rights of millions of LGBTQ Americans. There are no reports of anyone actually dying in the article as O reports. Another user chimed in to claim that Cain's political party affiliation is evidence enough of his hatred of gay people. So you see them responding to the same thing that he said here. You have hell optimism. You certainly don't care enough to vote against a party who would see us all dead, but keep spouting your bullshit. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you run into, of course, in current year, and especially on social media platforms like Twitter or especially like Tumblr. Twitter is pretty bad. Tumblr, I try not to ever go there. Every now and then I will look up something that's transpiring within comic books, but I try to stay away from that place because it pretty much is like disease incarnate. I mean, the mindset, it's broken. Cain would refute that accusation as well. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Cry elsewhere. Another would state that since Dean supports President Donald Trump, he must, quote, hate queer people and people of color. You can see this statement here by GBG. LOL, Dean was my first man crush as a young gay boy. Then I learned that he was a Trump supporters. So that means he hates queer people and people of color. It's simple math, really. How exactly is that simple math? Are they saying that that's 1 + 1 equals homophobia? Is that how that works out? Dean Cain, of course, responds to that and says, you must have failed math then, which is kind of funny, actually, when you look at that. Indeed, he must have failed math. Donald Trump has support of a number of individuals who are gay, including Breitbart tech editor and firebrand Milo Yiannopoulos to venture capitalist Peter Thiel. Thiel would go on to be the first gay speaker at the Republican National Convention in 2016, where Donald Trump accepted the Republican Party nomination for the President of the United States. NBC News also reported that an estimated 14% of all LGBTQ voters voted for Donald Trump. Now, within this, too, when you start going through it and you look at the insanity, you'll notice one theme that runs within all of that stuff. I reached out to Dean Cain to get a statement from him regarding O's accusations. Cain resoundingly denied them. What is the accusation? That I hate gays? That's demonstrably false and totally ridiculous. In fact, back in 2013, Dean Cain spoke with Huffington Post about gay marriage, where he stated, if anybody wants to get married, go ahead. He added, I have a lot of gay friends. I can't understand why it's an issue. For me, it's a non-issue. But that didn't stop O from continuing to smear Cain's name because of his support of Donald Trump. He even calls him a bigot. Of course he calls him a bigot there. So we continue here. Dean Cain, has been a vocal supporter of Donald Trump, whose policies and statements have spiked hate crimes against LGBT people, supported foreign violence against LGBT citizens, attempted to enact a trans ban, and seen a rash of seizures of queer people's passports. He's a bigot. Wow, I haven't heard of all of these different things propping up here, but apparently, accusation is proof. Very interesting, too, that we're talking about foreign violence, considering some of the belief systems that really focus around that. And some of the things that I saw with Anthony O here, some of the things that he had to say about belief systems that would probably see him hurt. But anyway, that's another subject altogether. Cain would once again rebuff I fully support gay rights, always have, always will. Spin any narrative you like for whatever reason you like. Won't change my support for gay rights. There. But O would double down. This time he would call Cain a racist as well. He's not being targeted. I saw a hot pic of him as Superman and remembered, too bad he's a racist who is trying to destroy all my friends' lives. So now he's a racist now, man. So yeah, you see this spin. You see how this conflates. And the reason that this kind of stuff is kind of worth looking at is because you can see how there is no requirement for evidence. That is current year. Pretty much the accusation is proof of wrongdoing. There are many people that will run with this. There are many people that will continue to run with Dean Cain being. In fact, like I say, Gail Simone decided to put the stamp on it. And this kind of stuff here, I don't want to continue going through this because you see exactly how that runs through. But I want to make the point within that. When you look at this, this is what we've been running across. Within comic books, you have this kind of same tactic added to people, of course, because of the way that they vote. But if you see a problem with people creating an atmosphere wherein people are treated this way, well, you, of course, are a bigot and a racist too. Anytime you step up, anytime you decide to challenge this narrative, well, that makes you against the narrative, and of course you're the enemy. So of course you need to be othered. And well, the best way to other is to blame you for something that it's really lost its punch now. When people throw this around so much, I don't know what word will come next or what label. I think that's why we've seen a push toward violence, because after a while, when you say people are Nazis and they're alt-right and so on, where can you go from there? Of course, you can go to espousing not only intolerance, but discrimination against people, and of course, punch a Nazi. That's where we go. And what's a Nazi? Well, a Nazi is anyone these people disagree with. But you tell me what you think about this stuff. I mean, when you see this, I'm not really surprised by it. And it's disgusting, really, how this rhetoric comes about. It's disgusting how it's spread and how it ruins things. I mean, when you look at this, it's so easy for people to go out, and it's so easy for them to espouse these views, and there's nobody willing to stand up and really say, hey, that's enough of that. There are too many people on the other side of an argument there that benefit from it. You know, they get something out of it, so of course when they get something out of it, why would they challenge it? The only problem with that is sooner or later that narrative, it'll turn on you. And if you run with the specific crowds where these words, they pretty much still have meaning, where you can still be hurt by them because, you know, these are artifice, but still, you know, if that label sticks to you there, that artifice, well, it's damning. Well, I hate to tell you, but sooner or later, after it stops working on everyone else, somebody will put the bullseye on you. But like I say, tell me what you think about this kind of stuff. Also, if you see this kind of content and, you know, you look at it and you think, wow, that runs a little bit contrary to kind of the mainstream right now, kind of against current year, well, that's wrong think. You know, so if you want to support channels that pretty much talk about wrong think, well, I would encourage you to do so. Not just this channel, but other channels as well. There are links within the description. There's a Patreon link and a PayPal link. Money this time will go toward an upgrade for a computer because, well, I've been using a potato basically after Lightning decided to destroy my rig at the beginning of this month. Like I say, I appreciate all people tuning in too. I definitely appreciate that. So like, subscribe, and leave your comments. I'm curious what you think about this stuff. I mean, don't you just get tired of these people and their false accusations and this language that is meant not to damage, you know, your feelings there, but meant to damage vocation, meant to damage, you know, not just occupation, but your name and on. You know, it's meant to take food out of the mouths of families. And really, it's meant to go out and to become the flavor of the day, you know, because this person here, oh, well, they voted the wrong way. So I got to teach them before I move on to something new and exciting. It's basically like social activism meets ADHD. But anyhow, you tell me what you think about that. Thank you.